The silent takeover. Earth in 2078 was not the fractured world of previous centuries. The devastating climate crisis of the 2040s have forced humanity to finally unite under a single governing body, the Global Earth Alliance. After decades of cooperative terraforming efforts and shared technological advancement, humanity had healed their planet and begun reaching toward the stars with renewed purpose. When the massive Caldraxian ships first appeared in Earth's orbit, there was no panic. Humanity had long prepared for first contact, and the Caldraxians, tall beings with iridescent scales and 4 arms, presented themselves as peaceful explorers. Their technology was centuries beyond Earth's capabilities: antimatter drives, gravity manipulation, and faster-than-light communication. Their diplomats spoke perfect English, explained through their cultural immersion programs that had been observing Earth for decades. "We wish to elevate humanity into the galactic community," Ambassador Zorn of the Caldraxian hegemony announced during the historic first meeting with the Alliance Council. His towering frame and melodious voice captivated the billions watching the broadcast. "Our civilizations have much to share." The integration began slowly. Caldraxian advisors were assigned to key governmental departments. Trade agreements were signed, allowing for exchange of resources. Humans marveled at alien medical technology that cured cancer and extended lifespans. Caldraxian entertainment and philosophy became cultural sensations. Children played with toys featuring friendly alien characters. Dr. Elena Reyes, head of the Alliance's Advanced Physics Division, was among the first to work directly with the Caldraxians. At first, she found them fascinating. Their mathematical understanding was elegant beyond anything humans had conceived. The Caldraxians offered glimpses of technological wonders: clean energy matrices, asteroid mining techniques, and biological enhancements. But as months passed, Elena noticed troubling patterns. They're remarkably generous with certain technologies, but completely withhold others, she told her colleague, Dr. James Chen, as they worked late in their Seattle laboratory. "And have you noticed how they've placed advisors in every military installation worldwide?" "It's just cultural differences," James said, but his voice carried doubt. "They operate on different timescales than us. Their civilization is 50,000 years old." Elena shook her head. Something isn't right. A year after first contact, the Caldraxians proposed the Partnership Protocols, a series of agreements that would integrate Earth's economy with the hegemony's vast trade network. The Alliance Council, dazzled by promises of prosperity, approved with minimal debate. Within weeks, human currency crashed. The new conversion system meant all Earth's financial decisions required Caldraxian approval. Strategic Earth resources, rare minerals, water, genetic material, were being shipped to Caldraxian worlds at rates that alarmed many economists. When protests began in major cities, they were quickly dispersed by new peacekeeping drones operated by Caldraxian security forces. The aliens expressed concern about human instability and offered to temporarily oversee public safety operations. Elena's suspicions deepened when her research access was gradually restricted. Her laboratory's work on quantum entanglement, potentially useful for communication without Caldraxian monitoring, was suddenly reclassified as unnecessarily redundant and shut down. The breaking point came when Elena discovered hidden code in the planetary defense systems that the Caldraxians had upgraded. The code contained backdoors allowing complete alien control of Earth's remaining military assets. "It's not a partnership," she whispered to herself, staring at the decoded protocols. "It's an occupation." That night, Elena met with James and 3 trusted colleagues in an old fallout shelter beneath the research facility, one of the few places they believed secure from surveillance. "We've been deceived," she said, displaying her evidence. "The Caldraxians have conquered hundreds of worlds this way. They never fire a shot. They simply absorb societies until nothing remains of their independence." "How do you know this?" asked Dr. Fatima Al-Jibri, a quantum computing specialist. Elena pulled out a small device, Alien in origin, but modified with human components. I built this from components we were studying. It's a data extractor. I used it on a damaged Caldraxian terminal. She activated the device, displaying a holographic star map marked with thousands of worlds. These are their conquered planets. They call it cultural assimilation. James studied the map, his face pale. There are so many, and now they're here for Earth, said Colonel Marcus Rivera, their military liaison who had grown increasingly concerned about alien influence in strategic command. They've positioned themselves perfectly, Elena continued. They control our economy, they've infiltrated our defense systems, and they've made us dependent on their technology. In another year, resistance will be impossible. What can we possibly do against their level of advancement? Asked Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka, a materials scientist. Their ships alone could destroy our cities from orbit. Elena's eyes gleamed with determination. We fight back with what makes humans unique. We've spent our entire history adapting, improvising, and overcoming seemingly impossible odds. The Caldraxians rely on technological superiority and psychological manipulation. They expect compliance. So we give them the opposite, Marcus said slowly, understanding dawning. Exactly, Elena nodded. And we have one advantage they don't know about. She pulled out another device, completely Earth-made, and activated it. A shimmering field surrounded their small group. This disrupts their monitoring systems. It's based on principles they don't use, something I discovered while studying how their communications interact with Earth's electromagnetic field. They have blind spots because they've never needed to look for them. Over the following months, the resistance grew. Elena and her colleagues established secure communication networks using repurposed Earth technology that operated on principles the Caldraxians overlooked. They recruited scientists, military personnel, and ordinary citizens disillusioned with the increasingly obvious alien control. Their greatest breakthrough came from an unexpected source, the very technology the Caldraxians had introduced to Earth. They'd been so focused on controlling us through their systems that they never considered we might adapt their own technology against them. Elena explained to the expanded Resistance Council, now hundreds strong and meeting via secure channels. Working with salvaged Caldraxian components and human ingenuity, they developed weapons that could penetrate alien shields, communication systems invisible to Caldraxian monitoring, and most importantly, a virus that could infiltrate and temporarily disable Caldraxian networks. Meanwhile, the alien control tightened. Human leaders who questioned Caldraxian directives found themselves replaced by more cooperative individuals. Resources flowed off-world at increasing rates. Subtle changes appeared in educational materials, emphasizing humanity's natural place as junior partners in the hegemony. When children began receiving mandatory cultural integration implants, public unrest grew despite increased surveillance. The Caldraxians responded by deploying more security forces, their pretense of equal partnership becoming thinner. Ambassador Zorn addressed humanity through a global broadcast. These temporary measures are necessary for your protection and advancement. Resistance to progress will only delay Earth's glorious future within the hegemony. But the resistance was ready. Their plan, Operation Thunderclap, would either free humanity or doom it. There would be no middle ground. Every Caldraxian system has been infiltrated, Elena told the resistance leaders on the eve of their operation. Our people are in position worldwide. We'll only get one chance at this. Colonel Rivera nodded gravely. If we fail, Earth becomes just another conquered world on their map. But if we succeed, Elena finished, we show the galaxy that humanity will never surrender its freedom. As midnight approached, Elena sent the activation signal, a simple code phrase transmitted through their hidden network. Remember Thermopylae. Across the globe, the resistance launched their coordinated assault against the silent invasion. The fight for Earth's freedom had begun. Humanity unleashed. The Caldraxians never expected resistance. In their 50 millennia of expansion, no species had ever successfully challenged them. Once the integration process was complete, their strategy had always been the same: offer technological wonders, create dependency, then slowly assert control until the conquered civilization couldn't function without them. But humans were different. Operation Thunderclap began simultaneously across the globe. At precisely midnight Greenwich Mean Time, thousands of resistance cells activated Elena's virus, temporarily paralyzing Caldraxian systems. Their ships in orbit suddenly lost connection with ground forces. Security drones fell from the sky. Communication networks went silent. In the crucial first hour, resistance forces seized control of key facilities. The Caldraxian Coordination Center in former United Nations headquarters in New York was the first to fall. Ambassador Zorn himself was captured while attempting to activate emergency protocols. "This is impossible," he hissed as Elena personally placed him in restraints. "Your species lacks the capability for such coordination. You studied our technology, but not our history," Elena replied. "Humans have been fighting against overwhelming odds since we climbed down from the trees." The Caldraxians had never anticipated the human capacity for adaptation. Their vulnerability stemmed from their own success. They had grown complacent after thousands of years of uncontested conquest. They had standardized their systems across their empire for efficiency, never considering this might create a single point of failure. But the initial victory was just the beginning. Within hours, the Caldraxian command structure recovered and began countermeasures. Their orbital fleet, temporarily disoriented, regrouped and prepared for a devastating response. "They're positioning for orbital bombardment," Colonel Rivera reported grimly, studying tactical displays in the Resistance's mountain headquarters. "Standard procedure when they lose control of an integration process." Elena had anticipated this. "Activate the shield network." Across the planet, hidden installations powered up. A planetary defense system created from modified Caldraxian technology combined with human innovation. As the alien ships fired their first salvos, shimmering energy fields intercepted the blasts. The shields wouldn't hold forever, but they didn't need to. The second phase of Operation Thunderclap was already underway. Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka had discovered something remarkable about Caldraxian physiology during his research. Their neural systems, while advanced in many ways, were uniquely sensitive to specific electromagnetic frequencies that humans barely noticed. "It's like they never evolved to filter certain signals," he'd explained, probably because those frequencies weren't relevant on their homeworld. This vulnerability became the cornerstone of humanity's counterattack. From repurposed communication arrays worldwide, special transmitters bombarded the Caldraxian ships with precisely calibrated electromagnetic pulses. The aliens aboard experienced crippling disorientation. Some lost consciousness entirely. Simultaneously, the Resistance deployed their secret weapon. 20 modified shuttles equipped with Caldraxian-derived propulsion, but controlled by human pilots specially trained to operate without electronic assistance. These craft approached the disoriented alien ships, attached specialized boarding devices, and deployed strike teams. One by one, the mighty vessels of the hegemony fell into human hands. On Earth's surface, the Caldraxian ground forces found themselves fighting an enemy that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. Humans used their intimate knowledge of their own planet, its terrain, its weather patterns, its hidden places, to devastating effect. Urban resistance fighters in Tokyo lured alien security forces into the subway system, then collapsed carefully selected tunnels. In the Amazon rainforest, indigenous guides led special forces through impenetrable jungle to attack alien outposts from impossible angles. Human adaptability proved overwhelming. When the Caldraxians jammed certain communication frequencies, humans switched to others, or used pre-industrial methods like mirror signals and drum codes. When alien forces deployed superior weapons, humans didn't engage directly. They used the environment, weather conditions, and improvised devices to neutralize advantages. The tide turned definitively when Elena's team took control of the Caldraxian command carrier in Earth orbit. Accessing its systems, they discovered the location of the hegemony's nearest reinforcement fleet, 3 days away at faster-than-light speeds. "We need to send a message they can't ignore," Elena told the hastily assembled Human Leadership Council, "something that ensures they never try this again." The plan they developed was audacious. Use the captured Caldraxian ships and technology to meet the incoming fleet before it reached Earth. But not to fight, to demonstrate. While the ground war concluded with remaining alien forces surrendering or fleeing in emergency craft, Elena and a volunteer crew took command of the hegemony flagship. With Dr. Tanaka's modifications enhancing its capabilities beyond standard Caldraxian specifications, they journeyed to the edge of the solar system to intercept the approaching armada. The Caldraxian reinforcement fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel to find not a subdued Earth awaiting final integration, but their own command ship controlled by humans, accompanied by 5 other captured vessels. "This is Dr. Elena Reyes of Earth," she transmitted as the massive alien fleet surrounded them. "Your integration of our world has failed. We have captured your forces, commandeered your vessels, and mastered your technology." The Caldraxian fleet commander's image appeared on the communication screen. His iridescent scales had darkened with rage. "Impossible. No species has ever reversed integration. You will be obliterated for this defiance." "Before you make that mistake," Elena continued calmly, "you should examine the modifications we've made to your former command ship." She nodded to Dr. Tanaka, who activated their final surprise, a completely human innovation that the Caldraxians, for all their advancement, had never developed. The modified engines of the flagship began generating a quantum resonance field that amplified exponentially, encompassing the entire fleet. "This field is currently harmless," Elena explained, "but with a single command, it will initiate a chain reaction within your propulsion systems. Your entire fleet would be destroyed before you could fire a single weapon." "Preposterous," the commander snarled. "Such technology is beyond." Elena interrupted by elevating the field's intensity for just 3 seconds. Warning alarms blared across the alien fleet as their engines fluctuated dangerously. "The next demonstration won't be a demonstration," she said. "Humanity is now declaring itself a sovereign galactic power. Return to your council with this message. Earth is off limits. Any future contact will be on our terms, as equals or not at all." After a tense silence, the commander spoke. "This is unprecedented. The hegemony has existed for 50,000 years. Thousands of worlds exist within our domain. Then perhaps it's time for the hegemony to evolve," Elena replied, "starting with how you approach first contact." The standoff lasted 17 hours. Finally, the Caldraxian fleet withdrew, returning to their territory with news that would shake the foundations of their interstellar empire. In the aftermath, Earth underwent a remarkable transformation. With access to Caldraxian technology, but freed from alien control, humanity advanced rapidly. The captured ships became the core of Earth's first interstellar fleet. The alien databases provided star charts and information about hundreds of worlds and species. Most importantly, humanity established the Terran Doctrine, a set of principles that would guide their emergence into the galactic community. Unlike the hegemony's practice of subtle conquest, Earth would respect the independence of other civilizations. They would share technology with developing species, but never at the cost of cultural autonomy. 5 years after Operation Thunderclap, humanity made contact with another of the hegemony's integrated worlds, the Nelvari, a gentle species of philosophers whose civilization had been reduced to producing luxury goods for Caldraxian elites. "We bring an alternative," Elena, now Earth's ambassador, told the Nelvari Council. "Not conquest disguised as partnership, but true alliance based on mutual respect." Word spread. Other worlds reached out, secretly at first, then openly. What began as Earth's resistance became a galactic revolution, not through force of arms, but through the power of choice and respect for self-determination. The Caldraxian hegemony, facing unprecedented challenges to its authority, eventually agreed to negotiations. Their 50,000-year empire was fundamentally transformed into a more equitable alliance of worlds. And it all began because they had underestimated humanity, a species that, when pushed too far, would not only survive but rewrite the rules of galactic civilization itself. As Elena stood on the observation deck of Earth's first entirely human-built starship, watching her homeworld shrink in the distance as they embarked on a mission of true exploration, she smiled at the thought of how thoroughly the Caldraxians had miscalculated. They had crossed a line, and humanity's answer had changed the course of galactic history forever.